Namaskar students. In part 5 video of chapter 1 chemical reactions and equations, I Usha Agarwal is here to discuss some more new topics related to the chapter. In the last video I had discussed about different types of chemical reactions. In this video I am going to discuss some more different types of chemical reactions. Basically, we will discuss about oxidation and reduction reactions in detail, and also about oxidation that is related to our everyday life. Yes, students, here we will discuss about oxidation and reduction. To start with oxidation. Oxidation involves addition of oxygen or electronegative element. Now what do you mean by electronegative element? It is the element which is capable of gaining electron. That is, you can relate this electronegative element to a non-metal which is always capable of gaining the electron. Now second point related to oxidation is it also means removal of hydrogen or electropositive element. For the electropositive element, you can compare it with the metal to your 10th standard, as in the 9th standard you had studied that metals have 1, 2 or 3 electrons in their valence shell and they are capable of losing these electrons to complete their octet and become cation, that is, we can say electropositive element. It also involves loss of electrons. Now to understand this, we have some examples related to oxidation, like addition of oxygen to sodium metal gives sodium oxide, and addition of magnesium oxygen atom to magnesium atom, it gives magnesium oxide, and it also involves addition of oxygen or electronegative element, that is a non-metal oxygen. Now for the loss of electron, iron plus 2, that is ferrous, when it loses its electron, it forms iron plus 3, or we can say ferric ion. Whereas reduction involves addition of hydrogen or electropositive element. It is opposite to that of the oxidation. Then second point, removal of oxygen or electronegative element, opposite to that of the first point of oxidation. Gain of electrons, it is just opposite to that of the loss of electrons. Now the examples. Here hydrogen is added to sodium to form sodium hydride, that is addition of hydrogen and or electropositive element. Here hydrogen is more electropositive as compared to sodium on the basis of reactivity. Addition of electron to ferric ion, it leads to the formation of ferrous ion, that is plus 2 or iron 2. Then hydrogen and chlorine gas, they combine to form HCl, that is hydrochloric acid. Here again addition of hydrogen or electropositive element to chlorine, which leads to reduction and forms hydrogen chloride. Yes children, let us study about oxidation in detail. Oxidation includes addition of oxygen or electronegative element. I had already discussed regarding electronegative element. Let me tell you once again, those elements which can easily gain electrons to form an ion. We can take the example of non-metal for your level to understand the concept in a better way. Now for the example which is given here, that sodium atom when reacts with oxygen, it forms sodium oxide. That is, oxidation has occurred for metal sodium by addition of oxygen or electronegative element, as oxygen is a non-metal having 6 electrons in the outermost shell, so it will gain 2 electrons to complete its octet. Oxidation children, it also involves removal of hydrogen or electropositive element. Here electropositive element, we generally take the example of metals which can give their valence electrons easily or donate their valence electrons easily to complete their octet. But Here hydrogen is also considered as electropositive element on the basis of chemical reactivity. Say for example, zinc when reacts with sulfuric acid or hydrogen sulfate, it gives zinc sulfate and hydrogen has been removed or displaced from sulfuric acid. So removal of hydrogen or electropositive element. Here hydrogen is electropositive as compared to zinc on the basis of reactivity. Third, loss of electron also involves oxidation. Here iron 2 or ferrous ion, it gives ferric ion or iron 3 ions when one electron is lost. That is, here plus 2 and plus 3 they indicate the number of electrons which exceeds the number of protons which exceeds the number of electrons here. Oxidizing agent, it is the one which can add oxygen or electronegative element. They also can remove hydrogen or electropositive element or can gain electron. Generally, non-metals and metal oxides are considered as examples for oxidizing agent. We will discuss about oxidizing agent in detail in our upcoming slides. Reduction. Reduction includes addition of hydrogen or electropositive element. That is, hydrogen is added to chlorine to form hydrochloric acid or hydrogen chloride. Here hydrogen is considered as electropositive in nature as compared to chlorine on the basis of reactivity, as hydrogen is less reactive as compared to chlorine. Then second point related to reduction, removal of oxygen atom or electronegative element. That is, here in this case copper oxide plus hydrogen, it gives copper plus H2O. Here children, we can discuss this equation in two terms. First, addition of hydrogen or electropositive element. Here hydrogen is considered to be electropositive as compared to oxygen on the basis of reactivity. Second thing, we can see here that in copper oxide oxygen is removed, so it is removal of oxygen or electronegative element. Always remember children, whether it is oxidation or reduction, it will be always to the reactant side only. Product is the yield that we will get after the reaction, so there will not be any oxidation or reduction onto this side. It will always be onto the reactant side, whether we discuss about reduction or oxidation. Now the third point related to reduction is gain of electron. Here example is your ferric ion or iron 3 ion. When electrons are added, then it forms ferrous ion or the iron 2 ion. It means that when electron is added, then the number of proton which exceeded here to the number of electron by 3 has now reduced to 2 only. Reducing agent is the another term related to reduction. These are the elements which can add hydrogen or electropositive element, or they can remove oxygen or electronegative element, or can lose electron. Here metals and metal hydrides are the examples of reducing agent, and we will also discuss about reducing agent in detail in our next topic. Yes children, let us discuss about one more new topic related to your previous topics, that is oxidation and reduction. So our new topic is redox reaction. So first I'll discuss about the meaning of redox reaction. It is a chemical reaction in which oxidation and reduction takes place simultaneously, that is side by side. This reaction is known as redox reaction. Remember, both oxidation and reduction, they will occur together side by side, that is simultaneously, and this type of reaction is known as redox reaction. To make it more clear, let us see this example. Here copper oxide or cupric oxide, because here the copper is in +2 state as oxygen, it can gain 2 electrons, so copper will lose these 2 electrons, and in this way copper oxide will be formed. It gets reacted with hydrogen, and by the addition of hydrogen we get copper metal and water as the product. Now as I told you, oxidation and reduction, they both will be onto this reactant side, as well as oxidizing agent and reducing agent will also be from reactant side, as product is the yield which we will get after the reaction. So let us see which part of the reactant is getting oxidized and which part is getting reduced. So here in this case, first we discuss about oxidation. Here oxygen is removed from copper and is being added to hydrogen to form water. So here hydrogen is oxidized. You will not write water is oxidized. You will write that on reactant side oxygen is added to hydrogen, so hydrogen is oxidized. So this is about oxidation. Now who is reduced? Here oxygen is being removed from copper, so it is not copper which is being reduced, it is copper oxide which is reduced. So reduction is related from copper oxide which is being formed copper, as oxygen is removed from it, so here it involves reduction. Now oxidizing agent, it is the one which can gets reduced itself to oxidize other. Here copper oxide is the oxidizing agent which is reducing itself to copper to oxidize hydrogen to water. So remember, wherever there is reduction, that part will be the oxidizing agent. Now here reducing agent, hydrogen is the reducing agent because it is the one which causes reduction of copper oxide. Yes children, to make the concept of oxidation reduction, that is about the redox reaction, more clear, here there is one more example for you. Here children, manganese dioxide, it reacts with hydrochloric acid to give manganese chloride plus water plus chlorine gas. Now here children, we will discuss about oxidation and reduction in detail. Now in this case children, as you can see that from manganese oxide, oxygen has been removed, and removal of oxygen involves reduction. Second thing is, here in case of reactant side, in the hydrochloric acid, hydrogen has been removed and lead to the formation of chlorine gas. So here removal of hydrogen means oxidation. So hydrogen has been removed, or the removal of electropositive element. This is related to oxidation. Here hydrogen is more electropositive as compared to chlorine on the basis of reactivity. So here it is oxidation of hydrochloric acid, that is HCl is oxidized, or we can say oxidation reaction has occurred here. Then manganese dioxide, it has been reduced, that is reduction has taken place because here oxygen has been removed from manganese and chlorine atom has been added over here, and removal of oxygen means reduction. Always remember, oxidation and reduction both will be onto reactant side, not onto product side. Now oxidizing agent, as we had discussed in the last example also, these are the agents or the substances or the elements which are capable of giving oxygen to others. So these are the substances which will bring oxidation for others by getting themselves reduced. Here manganese oxide, oxygen has been removed, so reduction of manganese causes oxidation of hydrochloric acid, which also involves removal of hydrogen. So here oxidizing agent is the one which is manganese dioxide, or where the reduction has occurred, and reducing agent is the one which is getting oxidized itself by causing reduction of others. So oxidation of itself means HCl oxidation, and or it causes reduction of this manganese dioxide, and it itself, that is hydrochloric itself, acid itself is getting oxidized. So reducing agent is the one which causes oxidation of itself, thereby causing reduction of others. So we had discussed about oxidation. Here hydrochloric acid is being oxidized, so here oxidation reaction takes place and it is getting oxidized to Cl2, and manganese dioxide, it is being reduced into manganese chloride. So this is a chemical reaction, children, where both oxidation and reductions are taking place simultaneously. So it is a redox reaction. And here oxidizing agent, remember children, these are the substances which are themselves getting reduced but they are making others to oxidized, and reducing agent is the one which itself is getting oxidized but causes reduction of others. So to make your concept more easy, oxidizing agent will be where the one where the reduction will be there, and reducing agent will be where the one oxidation will be there. And always remember, oxidation and reduction, they will be onto reactant side only. Oxidizing agent, reducing agent will also be onto reactant side. Yes children, another example related to redox reaction. As we had discussed that oxidation involves the removal of electrons and reduction involves the addition of electrons. So let us discuss about this, that is without getting involved into addition of oxygen or removal of hydrogen, or addition of hydrogen or removal of oxygen, to explain oxidation and reduction respectively. Here we will discuss with the modern terms or modern concept of oxidation and reduction, that is oxidation involves removal or loss of electron and reduction involves addition or gain of electrons. Here this is an example of displacement reaction in which copper sulfate solution is there and iron metal is put into copper sulfate solution, and iron being more reactive displaces copper from its salt solution and leads to the formation of iron sulfate, and copper metal is being removed or displaced. Now we will see how oxidation and reduction reaction has taken place here. Now children, this +2, -2, 0, these are the states which tells us about the formation of cation, anion or an atom. Remember, always an atom in its elemental form will not have any number over here, it will be 0. It means that it is neutral. There is equal number of proton or electron. There is no formation of cation or anion over here, as you can see in iron and copper, which are in their elemental state. But when it is a compound is always formed by the union of a cation and an anion. Here copper, it loses its 2 electron, and these lost 2 electrons are gained by this sulfate, which is having a -2 charge over here, that is it is an anion, which leads to the formation of compound copper sulfate. Here same with the iron sulfate, iron is losing 2 electrons, these are gained by sulfate, and again it leads to the formation of iron sulfate. Now here children, copper, it is +2 state over here and it is 0 over here, that is it is having addition of electron, that is +2, if it is added to -2 we will get 0 as the answer. That means these 2 electrons will be added over here, which will cause reduction. And in iron, which is having 0, that is it is neutral here. Yes children, here in the iron, the 0 is the state of or charge of iron, as it is neutral, having equal number of proton and electron. And now when ferrous sulfate or iron sulfate is formed, the state of iron has become +2, that is charge on iron is +2, that is loss of electron. So loss of 2 electrons exceeds the number of proton in iron by 2, because number of proton, children, it never changes, it remains the same. When it is in the atomic state or elemental form, then there is no loss or gain of electron, no formation of cation or anion by any of the element. So the charge is 0. But when it is forming the compound iron sulfate, it is losing its 2 electron to form Fe+2 or ferrous, and here sulfate, which is gaining the 2 electrons, and it forms -2 charge over here. So in this case, here from 0 to +2 in case of iron means it involves loss of electron, and loss of electron means oxidation. Whereas in copper, it is from +2 state to 0, that is it is gaining the electron, and in this case it causes reduction. +2 means it is having 2 protons more as compared to electron, it is by the loss of electron. And it is becoming 0, that means it is gaining -2, those 2 electrons, to form its elemental state. And here it is having equal number of proton and electron, it is neutral. So copper from +2 to 0 means by addition of 2 electrons, it is making its proton and electron number equal. Whereas in iron, from elemental state it is coming to Fe+2, that is cation state, that is it is losing 2 electrons. Here +2 means number of protons in iron is exceeding by 2 as compared to number of electron. When we talk about oxidizing agent, it is the one which is bringing oxidation of other, thereby getting reduced itself. So here oxidizing agent is your copper sulfate, or you can say copper, and reducing agent is the one which itself is getting oxidized but bringing the reduction of others. And here iron is bringing the reduction of copper, because these 2 electrons which are lost by iron is gained by copper. So copper is getting reduced and iron is getting oxidized. So iron is the reducing agent which will bring the reduction of copper, thereby oxidizing itself, and copper is the oxidizing agent which will bring the oxidation of iron, thereby getting reduced. Yes children, let us discuss about effects of oxidation reactions in everyday life. Effects of oxidation reaction in everyday life is broadly categorized into 2 types. First is corrosion and the second is rancidity. Let us discuss about corrosion in detail. Whenever surface of metal is attacked by air, water, moisture, acid, etc., it is said to be corroded, and the process is known as corrosion. We can also say corrosion as undesirable oxidation of metals when exposed to atmosphere. Metal always gets oxidized. Examples of corrosion: rusting of iron is also an example of corrosion. Rusting of iron is due to formation of rust, that is reddish brown coating, and chemical formula for rust is ferric oxide dot XH2O. It means it is hydrated salt of ferric oxide. Iron has changed now. It is a chemical change. Second example, silver turns black due to silver sulfide, Ag2S. Here silver is oxidized due to the sulfur present in the atmosphere. Copper gets corroded and it turns green due to formation of basic layer of copper carbonate. CuCO3.CuOH2 is the chemical formula. So copper reacts with carbonates present in the atmosphere. Now children, corrosion of iron, it causes huge loss of economy to the government and the people, because iron is used in making car bodies, bridges, railings, ships body, and various other purposes. It is widely used in the construction of buildings, malls, etc. So, corrosion of iron is a serious problem. Now children, corrosion of metal, aluminium is advantageous. Remember, for iron it is a serious problem, but for aluminium it is advantageous because it forms thin layer of aluminium oxide which prevents aluminium from further corrosion. How can we prevent corrosion? By painting, oiling, greasing, galvanization, electroplating and alloying. Painting and oiling will prevent the metals to come in direct contact with oxygen in the atmosphere. Same, galvanization is dipping of iron in molten zinc cotton. Electroplating, bicycle handles are generally electroplated with chromium to prevent it from corrosion and for shine also. Alloying is done also to prevent corrosion. As about alloys, you already had studied in the 9th standard. Yes children, another effect of oxidation in our day-to-day life is rancidity. Now what is rancidity? It is oxidation of food items containing oil and fats in the atmosphere. Say for example chips, they are fried in the oil, and when they are exposed to atmosphere for long time, then they become rancid, that is they get oxidized, and the process is known as rancidity. So rancidity is oxidation of food items which contain oil and fats. Now when these substances become, or the food items become rancid, then their smell and taste changes, and this makes them unfit for our consumption. That is, food items become rancid, they get oxidized. Now how to preventive method of rancidity? First, antioxidants. Children, antioxidants are the substances which remove the activity of oxygen, and antioxidants are added to food items containing fats and oil. Inert gas nitrogen is generally filled in the bags of chips to prevent the contact of food items like chips containing fats and oil with oxygen in the atmosphere to keep it fresh or to prevent it from getting oxidized. We can also keep food in airtight container to slow down the process of oxidation. Refrigeration also slow down the process of oxidation. Antioxidants like BHA and BHT are added to the butter. Now, what is BHA and BHT? BHA, full form of BHA is butylated hydroxyanisole. Butylated hydroxyanisole. BHT, butylated hydroxytoluene. Now, the next is vacuum packed snacks have more shelf life. As I had explained you that the bags of chips are flushed with nitrogen gas which is inert in nature, and it prevents the contact of oxygen with the food items, so they will be more fresh and they will not become rancid. In this way their shelf life will be increased. Yes children, explanation for chapter 1 chemical reactions and equations is over. Notes related to previous parts of the videos have already sent to you, and notes related to this part of the video will be sent to you. Together with this, the NCERT and in-text exercise question and answers will be sent to you, and also a worksheet related to this chapter will be sent to you. Please solve all the question answers as well as write notes in your notebook and solve the worksheet in your notebook. I hope you have understood the chapter. Thank you.